Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to join this powerful informational call to hear about some things that are going to change your life in a big way. We're going to show you something that can offer you health freedom, financial freedom, and the time and energy to enjoy them both. My name is Verdita Monk, and I'll be your host and presenter for tonight. And I'm really excited that I was introduced to this information almost 3 years ago by a dear friend of ours, Mr. Ken Robinson. That one phone call changed our lives. And I'll tell you more about what happened later on in the presentation. But I know that based on the information you're going to hear, you're going to feel the same way. But what we're going to be talking about tonight has to do with the stem cell technology industry. You see, for many years, doctors and scientists have been investing billions of dollars trying to come up with a solution to help with situations where patients are not able to, doctors aren't able to help with their patients get through their illnesses. Normally, there's some type of crisis situation that doctors have no other options. And so they have been embracing the stem cell technology industry because they know that is the optimal solution. But really, it's not the optimal solution because I'm going to tell you more about that in a moment. But we're talking about a product that's way ahead of its time. And it's a product that is going to allow you to it allows us to harness light to heal our bodies. Have you ever been patched? That's a very exciting question because after you hear this information tonight, you're going to be asking, how can I get patched? Because what's going to happen when you get patched, your body is going to be elevated, reactivated, dormant stem cells in your body are going to be reactivated, and everything is going to be regenerated, and you're going to be a new person. So why are we talking about this? I kind of told you a little bit already that doctors are trying to come up with solutions for illnesses and crisis situations that they have exhausted all of their resources, not knowing what else they can do for patients. But the reason this is happening is because by the age of 30, half of our stem cells are inactive. That's when you start, just changing things, start getting tired. Maybe you get something like high blood pressure, diabetes, things like that. Those are things you hear about when people start getting in their 30s and 40s. But by the time we're age 60, nearly all of our stem cells are inactive. This is when you really know that someone is aging. They're forgetting things. They have less energy. They're not able to get around the way they used to. And as I said, doctors, this is when different situations come up where doctors feel that we cannot help this person anymore. We've exhausted everything. So stem cells, the reason we're talking about this is because the stem cells that are in our body are intended they're the body's intended repair system. So if all of those stem cells are going away or being dormant, they're not disappearing out of your body, they're just dying and going dormant. If they go dormant, they cannot help the body repair itself. And so this is what's happening. The less active stem cells we have, the slower we're going to heal and the more that we are going to feel the effects of aging. So I want to make a disclaimer right here to let you know that our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. We're simply talking about a technology about the size of a quarter, thin like a Band-Aid, operates like a Band-Aid where you peel the paper off just like a Band-Aid, is going to reboot your body. And I know you're wondering, this little bitty tiny device is going to be able to do all these things that you're talking about? Let's move on further so you can understand it better. So how does it work? This is a proprietary form of phototherapy. Let's think about the situation when you go out into the sun. You probably heard it being said that it's going to elevate the vitamin D in your body. Key word, elevate in your body. It's not depositing vitamin D in your body because that would mean it's flying around in the air somewhere. But the light and heat of the sun is elevating the existing vitamin D in your body. That's the same thing happens when you put this patch on. The light and heat of your body, you see we're light beings and it's already light and heat in our body. The light and heat of our body, when this patch touches your skin, it elevates copper peptides in your body. When that happens, these dormant stem cells become reactivated. That is a phenomenon. That is what doctors and scientists have been trying to come up with for years. And so this is a patented nanocrystal technology. There are nanocrystals right in the center of this patch, so tiny that you can't even see them. It's non-transdermal. It's not going to penetrate into your skin, but it does reflect the light that's in your body to activate. No drugs or chemicals. This is why doctors and people that especially are used to prefer natural things, natural forms of healing. They love this because there's no drugs or chemicals in it. And it's not FDA approved because this is not a drug, okay? But it is FDA registered. Our laboratories are FDA registered. So this is 100% non-invasive, not going to affect anything in your body. Now, I want to introduce you to the brilliant scientist that came up with a solution that is the inventor of the X39. You see, David Schmidt was so brilliant years ago. He was sought after by the federal government to assist in a project that was designed for the Navy SEALs to remain active, energized for over 36 hours at a time. They had a new project where they was going to be underground for over 36 hours at a time. That project was so successful that it started spreading from all over the country to doctors, to elite athletes, like at Stanford University when they were competing in the women's Olympic swim team. That just shows you right there, whenever you're an elite athlete, you're not allowed to wear or use anything that's going to be performance enhancing. But they were able to use this during their Olympic competitions. So, but he kept inventing different things. And by 2008, he started focusing his attention on stem cell research. It took him 10 years to develop this technology. We call it a technology. It's in the form of a patch. And it's called X39 because it took him 39 attempts, 39 trials to get this to perfection. But 10 years, 80 case studies with prolific doctors and scientists assisting him on his team, and $4.5 million just to bring it to market. Now look at this patent right here. This patent literally says that this is a wearable phototherapy apparatus that produces beneficial effects to the human body, such as activation of stem cells, improvement in strength, improvement in stamina, pain relief via a non-transdermal container. It says it all. It says it right here, and they cannot say something like this within a patent if it is not true. And again, our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or medical condition. We have exclusive rights to distribute, to market, to no one else can then duplicate this patch for the next 15 years. That screams opportunity. Now, there are many, many benefits to the X39. You see some of them listed on this page. I want to highlight a couple of them. My husband and I, the way we were introduced to the patch, we didn't think that we were a candidate for this patch because we thought, okay, these are for sick people, people in excruciating pain. That's what we thought. But just out of curiosity, we tried it anyway because we heard some phenomenal testimonies. You're going to hear some in a moment that were not just about being sick or in pain. But what happened when we wore this patch, it really surprised us. My husband used to have a sleeping disorder where he snored very, very loud every single night. That went on for 10 years. Not only did he snore really loud, he used to choke and cough because he had acid reflux. And that night, we noticed the next morning that he had not snored. Now that was phenomenal, but we didn't attribute it to the patch. We said, let's wear this patch again. We did it again, both of us. Well, we both slept like babies, but he did not snore again. And that's been, November will be 3 years now that he has not snored. Now, so that really got our attention so much that it impressed upon us that we had to share this with everybody. Now we spread it to people that have spread it to people that just continue to spread the word about this awesome technology to the extent that it has reached over 7,000 people that we feel that we have touched because of our commitment to sharing it. Because that's all we do is share the technology, let people try it themselves. So I want to talk also about the mental clarity. The mental clarity is off the chain. As we get older, we start forgetting things. But not only that, people that are autistic, they don't have the mental clarity that they need. And we have seen so many people that, you know, have those symptoms of autism, Alzheimer's, things like that, PTSD. Well, the mental clarity is really remarkable, you guys. So those are the kind of things I wanted to point out, and I will show you a couple of photos in a moment of where it is improved skin appearance on a couple of people, okay? Once again, we're making that disclaimer that we're not saying that we're treating, cure, diagnosing, or preventing any disease or medical condition, okay? Now, I want you to look at this map. It's called a topography map. You can also call it a brain scan, where they took a 77-year-old woman in one of those case studies, and they put an X39 on the back of her neck. And when they did that and they looked at the brain scan, all of this orange area reflects inflammation. There was inflammation in her brain and lack of brain coherence. They noticed that as well. In session 2, which was 3 weeks later, they looked at it again, and all of the inflammation was gone after wearing that X39 for 3 weeks and improved brain coherence. The third session, which was a total of 6 weeks on the X39, there was a complete turnaround and better brain coherence. So it could be noted that when she came in, her brain was hyperactive, and it calmed down dramatically at the second session. And then after the third session, it remained calm and probably can still come. This could be your brain. This could be my brain. This could be your heart or different parts of your body, but they happen to look at her brain. So this just shows you what's going on in our bodies. Now, keep in mind what I just shared with you. In the case studies, they are documented on a site called thisisit.info.com. These were the results in the case studies. In the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. And that's, you know, many people say, well, I don't feel anything. But you don't have to feel anything for these to be working. You don't feel your hair growing. You don't feel your nails growing. There's a lot of things you don't feel doesn't mean they're not happening. And that's what we want to let you know, that just because you don't feel it, please know that it is working based on the case studies. Within 6 weeks, just like on the previous screen where the lady's brain become balanced, within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. So if you know someone with PTSD that's struggling with that, someone is struggling with depression, what about autism or dementia? All of those are reflective of someone's brain being unbalanced. We have something that's going to help them, you guys. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. That the collagen is what holds your bones and muscles and all this to structure together. You know, as we get older, we start. Many people start getting just shorter in general because they're bending over. Their collagen is depleted out of their body. That's going to start increasing within 3 months. And within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. They say that for every 6 months that you wear this patch, your heart reverses by 8 years. Now, think about all the heart conditions that people have. And this is just tremendous. What happens when you put this patch on, it knows what your body needs. It knows where it needs it. It may say, well, you know what? This person has issues with the heart. It knows to go to that area and start reactivating those stem cells that help you with your heart. This is phenomenal, you guys. This is very intelligent. Nothing to snub your nose at. In other words, David Schmidt is saying this is not just anti-aging, you guys. This is age reversing. Don't you want to be part of that, where you can know that you're really literally getting younger and younger as you continue to wear this patch? Now, how are you going to wear it? Very simple, just 12 hours on, 12 hours off. You know, like if you wake up in the morning and brush your teeth, and let's say you put it on at 8 in the morning, you can take it off at 8 at night. Throw it away. Why? Because you're going to put a new patch on the next day. You're going to get 30 patches in this beautiful packaging. 30. So you don't have to use the same one every day. As a matter of fact, you can't use the same one every day. It's only good for 12 hours, 12 to 14 hours. So you want to put a new one on. Here's the thing. You must drink plenty of water. Now you see these 2 locations that they're showing you to put the patch over here. That's just because they use those 2 locations in the case studies. But literally, you're not limited to those 2 locations. Anywhere in the body that you want to wear it is fine. Now, here's the part that I really, really like, because it gives you an opportunity to hear directly from someone who is has been using the patch and has really blessed them in a big way. So what I was able to do was a couple of people who are not able to be on the call tonight, we have a recording of them sharing their testimony. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a recorded testimony that I have. And the first person I want you to hear from is a lady that has or had MS, okay?
Hey,
I'm good. How are you?
I am so good. Dottie, thank you for coming on with us tonight. I know this is your first time sharing, and can you let our viewers know tonight, how long have you been on the patch? How were you, who shared the patch with you? How long you've been on the patch? And what has your incredible experience been so far?
Well, I've been on the patch now for about 7 weeks, and I found out about the patch from my sister, who is always researching for me because I have multiple sclerosis. And she heard about the patch and she tried it, and it was amazing for her. So she sent it to me and said, please try it. I've had MS since 1984. I was on a walker close to a wheelchair. I could no longer do the activities I enjoyed. I could not show and compete on my horses. I had excruciating sciatic nerve pain and back pain, and I could barely walk. After 48 hours on only the X39, my sciatic pain was gone 100%. My back pain was gone 100%. And I walked out one day into the kitchen with my walker, and I thought, oh, something feels different here. And I let go of my walker and walked to the coffee pot without my walker, and I was absolutely in shock that I was able to do that and able to walk as far as I did. So anyone with MS, please do not wait. Please take advantage of this wonderful patch. And another thing, what goes along with MS, that I just recently had this change this week, is the problem of incontinence. And from wearing the carnosine and the X39, all of a sudden this last week, I no longer have that problem. And that is such a good feeling not to have that embarrassing problem going on all the time. So I am so happy. And I am giving myself 1 year, and I will be getting back on my horse and competing again.
Wow, Dottie. Oh, wow. I mean, I think everybody here really resonates with you. And so you had MS since 1986?
84.
84. That's literally over 30 years now.
Yes.
What kind of medications have you been on all this time? And I mean, yeah, what kind of medications have you been on all this time?
Well, every neurologist, when you say MS, they want to hand you a prescription for anything. If you can't sleep, if you have pain, if you can't walk, but nothing does any good. And my husband so much wanted to help me that we actually spent $20,000 to go to Mexico to get stem cell injections, which did absolutely nothing for me. So I started getting more and more depressed because nothing was working. And it wasn't until the X39 patch that things actually started to change.
All right, so you see, that was a phenomenal testimony. I'm going to share one more with you. This is a doctor. I want you to hear what he has to say.
And it's great to be able to share my story alongside these other giants here. So I'm really new to the patch world. So only thing I can say is my carpal tunnel syndrome is gone. Those were the first words that my testimony person came and told me about. Just like most doctors, we've been offered the proverbial snake oil from 100 different ways coming in. And I had this wonderful woman, Brittany, that started speaking to me and really speaking a lot of life into the product, and just kind of believed the enthusiasm coming out of her mouth and her voice. And so I said, well, let me try it. Got my first patches, and I let them sit there for a while and looked at them, and eventually I decided to put one on. Didn't have any pain. No, it wasn't anything better, but it definitely wasn't anything worse. The patches went on fairly easy, very easy fit, very sexy to wear, I always said. But I was very interested because of the aspect of the stem cell activation. I've been in the whole aspect of regenerative medicine for many years now. My aspect is inflammation or pain has a purpose. So inflammation, just simply put, is that something is not working correctly anymore, and we want to get that inflammation gone so that the body can restart working properly. One of our biggest parts of our clinic is our weight loss clinic, and we had a patient that we have been really working with, increasing our medication usage, and she just was very resistant. Traditional mid-gut weight that she couldn't lose. We all know that kind of goes with a lot of ladies with things like PCOS and other aspects. And so I said, after wearing the patches myself for a month and started seeing some improvement in myself, I turned to the patient. I said, why don't we try this? She took it home, came back next week with an amazing result, weight loss, just feeling less bloated, just overall feeling much better. And as we started talking and asking her how she was feeling wearing the patches, any problems, any side effects of wearing the patches, she says, no, but you know what? My carpal tunnel is gone. That pain that used to wake me up twice a night is completely gone. And I said, no way. And so that's when, all the testimonies that I had, been listening to from you guys really came, the chickens came home to roost, they came home to nest. And I started becoming a believer and started handing them out more and more. Have an aunt that has some dementia issues, and just kind of slowly seeing, I don't think she's seeing it herself, but being able to have a longer conversation with her and things of that nature, it's just amazing technology. I've been in the stem cell world, introducing the stem cells, but crossing that blood-brain barrier, crossing into that blood system to affect the body globally with stem cells versus just joint placement or location treatment was something that we had always been hindered by. And so, Danny, coming across you guys.
So hopefully you took away from those two testimonies. The first one with the lady with the MS, many people within our company have been relieved from that issue. The point I want to make, though, was that she did try stem cell injections. See, stem cell injections are localized. If you've got a pain in your knee and you put that injection, they put the injection in your stem cells in your knee, it's not going to help you with your heart or your brain or your shoulders. None of that. Whereas the X39, you heard the doctor that just came on saying that what he was not used to was what he didn't, I guess, love about the injections is that they were localized. They were not working globally all over your whole body. That's the difference. That's one of the difference between stem cell injections, which is the solutions that doctors give you, versus stem cell technology, this is the only thing in the whole wide world besides an injection where you can get those new stem cells in your body. Now, the other thing about the stem cell injections, they're very expensive. They may cost $5,000, $25,000 per injection, and most people cannot afford that. It is not covered by insurance. It is, sometimes you heard the lady say, it didn't even work for her. She went all the way to Mexico and spent $20,000 and it did not work. You see, you're going to be surprised when you find out that what's the price of these patches are, but you already heard two great testimonies covering several things and many, many more, which I will share with you where you can find those, some more testimonies. But I told you I was going to show you a visual of someone that had a skin condition. This man had vitiligo, and after 1 year of wearing the patches, that is gone. There is no cure for vitiligo, but there are different creams that people use, but this don't work. This is phenomenal. Here's a lady that after 3 years of wearing the X39, her wrinkles and sagging of her skin went away. She looks 20 years younger after 3 years of wearing a patch. So many testimonies can be found on this site called thisisit.info.com. This page also has the case studies and the patent on there, doctor's reviews. But if you click on testimonies, you'll see all kinds of testimonies with recordings, just like the one I just shared with you. Okay, this will empower you not only to get a better picture and to encourage you to share this with other people as well. I told you earlier, we're going to be talking about your health freedom. Hopefully by now you feel empowered. You feel that you can do something that will allow you to have freedom with regards to your health. Let's talk about the financial freedom. See, think about this. You just heard some stuff on here that hopefully someone that you can share it with. If you really care about people, don't keep this to yourself. Go tell them that I found something that may help you. Literally, and this is the truth. I don't know if this lady's on the phone or not because I definitely invited her, but I met a lady at a boutique yesterday and I kept, how you don't really know anyone and you feel kind of hesitant to invade on their privacy, but this lady had vitiligo. She had it on her arms. She had it where, I can't remember exactly where, but she had vitiligo. And I went up to her and I showed her a picture that I just showed you, just as a way to break the ice. And I gave her some of the patches and hopefully she's going to embrace him. I did that to help her, not because of any other reason. Okay. So as you continue to share this with people, guess what? The company compensates you. You get paid just to help people. And this company is a global opportunity. It's reached over 75 countries. We're experiencing exponential growth, starting with 20 million in 2021. By 2023, we had reached 430 million. And in 2024, we exceeded 600 million. We're on track to be $1 billion company in 2025. Do you want to be part of this growth? And so I know you're asking this, but wondering, well, how in the world can this company grow so fast? It's because this is not an ordinary product. This is not a Me Too product that anybody else can distribute. We've already talked about the patent. We have exclusive rights on it. Most companies are marketing things like weight loss, skincare. People say, oh, you have something to help me lose weight. We need something exciting that's going to help people lose weight. Yes, it might be exciting, but is it going to change someone's life the way this product does? And so let's keep going, because once again, hopefully you see this screams opportunity, because you're not going to stop talking to people about this. I was on the phone earlier with someone whose aunt had cancer. They felt that she's 83, felt that she would not be around by her birthday in November, but her niece gave her some of these patches, gave her a whole 30-day supply. And after, it seems like it's only been about a month or maybe a month and a half, she went back to the doctor and the tests showed there is no cancer cells. She was not going to make it to November. Okay. So that lady is telling her friend, she's 83 years old, no intention of doing business. It's just as something she cannot keep to herself. So do you see how this works? So our compensation plan works like this. Lifewave makes no promises or guarantees regarding income. The success or failure of each Lifewave brand partner, like any other business, depends on your skills and your personal effort. All you have to do is open up your mouth. But with regard to you personally, I know by now that you can't wait to figure out how can you get some of these patches. So let me tell you how you can get some. First of all, you might say, hey, let me just try a 30-day supply. You can do that. And the person that invited you can show you how to get one 30-day supply as a customer, okay? You're gonna pay $150 for if you do it one time. But if you understand the science behind this and the necessity to continue to wear this, not like 1 month and quit, because all these stem cells in your body, in order for it to be permanent and to work thoroughly, you need this to get into your system and work several months, okay? For every decade that you're alive, you need the patch for at least a month. If you're 60, that means you need it 6 months or more. So, but if you see the vision here and you say, well, not only do I want to wear these and get them at the wholesale price, which is $99.95 per month for one sleeve, I want it for my spouse. I might have a few people I want to share it with. And yes, I want to get compensated for doing that. Okay, so you may want to get the core pack for $295. You're going to get 3 30-day supplies. Okay, 3, it's beautiful. It's two components to this envelope. You put the small one inside, but 3 30-day supplies. If you know that you want to do this, but you want more inventory, you can get the advanced pack. The advanced pack will save you $65 because 6 sleeves are in here, which is valued at $600, but you're going to save $65. This package also, it just allows you to, you know, pass some of these patches out. You want to give at least 3 to any individual that you care about so that they can maybe, like my husband, in 2 days, he experienced stop snoring within the first night, but he would have never done that if we had never tried the patches. But the advanced pack also allows you to get promoted in our company. I'm going to explain that in a moment. The premium pack is for the serious entrepreneur. That person has a big vision. Many times doctors, most doctors are going to get this package because they're, putting it to the hands of their patients, charging them, of course, when they purchase it from them, or just, people that have a big vision like me and my husband. When we looked at it, we knew that we wanted to tell everybody we knew. So we passed out patches to 25 couples, 25 individuals. We gave each person 5 of these patches, and it left enough for us to have a sleeve for ourselves for the next 90 days. So that was 6 sleeves left over. And you guys, that saves you $250. So we were going to purchase these for the next 90 days, but guess what? We made our money back the very first week because people were trying these patches and says, how can I get some of those? Plus we put them on a call just like this. It's a very simple system: patch and invite. Okay. And when you do it that way, you're paying $87.50 a sleeve. The other thing about this package, I just told you that you do not have to place an order to keep yourself active. In order to earn money in our company, you must remain active. So if you get 1 30-day supply per month, you're going to stay active, but you're going to keep your points, which I will tell you what those are about in a moment. But you'll be earning up to $100 per week. That's enough to cover the cost of your patches. But if you really want to maximize the comp plan and make some serious income, you definitely need to get 2 of these. You're going to get 2 anyway if you're married, because 1 for you and 1 for your spouse. But if you're not married, you still need 2. 1 for you and 1 to share with people, like I ran into that lady yesterday and the lady on the plane last week and the other. You're going to run into people if you're out and about. And if you keep in mind that I am here to help some people, you're going to need that extra sleeve. So hopefully this is encouraging you to make sure you get 2 sleeves per month. Now, I told you that you can become a retail customer. So let's say that someone wants to be a one-time customer. This is you. This is how you're going to earn money. The first way is retail profits. You retail this to a customer. They pay the full price because they're not a brand partner like you are, and you're going to make $50. Now, they'll go to your site and order it directly from the company. The company sends you a check via a digital wallet, and you're going to get 77 points for doing that. And I told you I was going to tell you more about the points, but remember the points. The person who wants to get it at the same price as you, they would love to be using these patches every single month consistently. They're going to get it for $99.95 a month, and you're going to make $20 every month. You just sold it to them one time. They go to your site, become a preferred customer. You're going to get $20 a month and 43 points every single month. Second way we get paid is called our product introductory bonuses, or PIB. So if a person gets that $295 package, you make 35. If they get the advanced package, you make 75. They get the premium pack, you make 405. And these are the associated points with each one of those packages. Now, the third way we get paid is called the binary. All those points that have been accumulated as people buy these packages. And remember, there's a lot of them are staying on auto ship. They're getting it every month. Every single time a purchase is made, it goes into a structure called the binary. And in the binary, you can earn anywhere from $100 per week all the way to $25,000 per week when you reach the senior presidential director level. Now, this is what the binary looks like. This is you. And let's say you went and shared this with a few people that you know. The first person you may put on your left side, the next person on your right, third on your left, and the fourth on your right. Now you're what we call a manager. But in this structure, what happens is not only are you enrolling people and they're falling in this structure, the people that you've enrolled, when they enroll someone, they fall in this structure all below these people right here. The people above you, they can bring a new person in, and that person has to fall under you. Nobody ever comes back above anybody else. Anyone that enrolls falls at the bottom of this tree. It's going to fall either on the left or it's going to fall on the right. But guess what? Every single person that falls in after you, you get 100% of the points that are generated when they enter this structure, okay? In this structure, you can earn up to $25,000 per week. Now, the next thing we want you to focus on, though, is now focus on ranking up to the first position, which is called manager. Those first 4 people that you bring on board will make you a manager if they get the core package or above. And if you have the advanced package yourself, or at least 300 points, that's the other qualification to be a manager. Why? Why do you want to be a manager? Because when you become a manager, now you're opening up the fourth way of pay, which is our matching bonuses. You see, let's say that you enrolled me and I started sharing it with people like crazy. And let's say this particular week, I earn $1,000. You're going to get a 25% match on that, which is $250 when I make my 1,000. The company does not take the $250 from my earnings. The company pays you 25% just for introducing me to the business. The people that I share this with will fall on your second level. And when they earn money, you'll get 20% of what they earn in the binary, and 20% of the people that they share it with. It is a beautiful thing, and you will understand it more as it starts happening. But all of this information is broken down where you can take your time and read it again and listen to it again on a website called thisisitteam.com. Everything you need to know about this business, how to talk to people, how to share it with people, how to understand the compensation plan. All of this is on this website. Also, this is another website I like, because this website, those 2 testimonies that you heard me play earlier are on this site. It's called digitalalliance101.com. Also on that site it's a notification to you. If you go to the bottom of the first page and go down to stay plugged in, you can click on that, put your phone number in, and you will be notified every time one of these calls are played through our system. And see, we have calls every single day, except for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We have a training on Saturday, but every other day there is a presentation that you can plug into, and you will be notified from that Digital Alliance website. Now, I want to share this with you. We have a very special event coming up July the 19th in Atlanta, the Road to Next Level. We're going to have some very special guests coming into Atlanta. Steve and Gina Merritt, who are the powerhouse behind This Is It team. They have put this company into momentum. Mike and Sahi Hernandez, both of these couples are elite senior presidential directors in our company. You do not want to miss this event. And the leaders in Atlanta will be hosting this event. This is Saturday, July 19th. The presentation will start at 12 noon. Right after that, we'll go into our team training, which will be, over Zoom. So people all over, we're going to Zoom the 1 o'clock presentation from Atlanta, Georgia. So we're excited about that. Make sure you put that on your calendar. Tell everybody, get your guests there, get your teammates. This event right here is going to explode your business, because these people know exactly what they're doing. So now, you guys, hopefully you've seen the big picture after this presentation. You see how you can get your health freedom, your financial freedom, and the time and energy to enjoy them both. Now, I want to know, are you serious about your dreams? Because we can help you get there, because there is hope for the future. We feel very confident about everything you heard on this call today. Please get back with a person that invited you to this call and let them know you're ready to get started with X39, and whatever way you want to get started, we will help you get there. So thank you all so much for joining the call. Again, my name is Verdita Monk. I am a Senior Presidential Director with Lifewave. Enjoy your evening.